The UNECE has just adopted the Level 3 hands-off driving regulation up to 130 kilometers an hour or 80 miles an hour. And they also adopted the unconfirmed lane change. So that's good news for Autopilot in Europe. Or is it? This week, the UNECE met again with regards to the WP29 regulation. So what happens is that the different subsections, the different special interest groups, like the GRVA, they prepare a proposal to be adopted into the WP29 regulation, which then becomes official. Now, what they adopted this time was the unconfirmed lane change, which we're all looking very much forward to, as well as the level 3 hands-off driving up to 130 kilometers an hour or 80 miles an hour. Up until now, the level 3 driving was allowed already, but only up to 60 kilometers an hour, which means that it was only useful as a traffic jam assistant. The level 3 driving is also very limited in its conditions. Like, it can only be done on dry roads, it can only be done on certain highways, it can only be done as long as there is no emergency vehicle coming from behind, as long as there is no roadworks, and so on and so on. So it's a pure optimistic scenario, but it is possible to do hands-off driving and start working on your laptop with level 3 autonomy. So that's really nice, although it's being limited, but also it is only currently implemented in Germany. And other countries have not yet adopted their regulations to allow for the same level 3 driving. So when we now have the level 3 up to 130 kilometers an hour approved, that comes into effect as soon as January 2023. Probably, again, only Germany will benefit from that regulation because other countries have not yet implemented it. I hope they will start implementing that as well, but for now it looks like only Germany will benefit from it. But again, Germany is a big country, and if I can drive from Köln to Berlin, for example, or from Stuttgart to Köln, the big distances that you drive, or to Munich, and you can do that while watching a video on your screen, then yeah, that's awesome. And with the unconfirmed lane change also being approved, that means that you're no longer stuck within the same lane. So up until now, 60 kilometers an hour, single lane. So if you're in a lane behind the truck, you would be there for the entire journey as long as you are on level 3 driving mode. And that's quite limiting. Right now with the unconfirmed lane change, it means that the car can also initiate the lane changes itself. And that means it can start passing other cars. Of course, keeping in mind that we need to apply the rechtsvaren system, so we always have to go back to the rightmost lane. This also brings up the problem that we have with Autopilot and the state of Autopilot in Europe and the other countries that are part of the WP29, such as Australia and South Africa, for example. What we have here is a level 3 regulation that allows the unconfirmed lane change. If I look into the documents, then the level 2 regulation is still the R79 that started everything back in June of 2019. The R79 is the regulation that we need to watch for level 2 driving, combined with the new DCAS regulation that is being created, that is part of the whole ADAS regulation. And that will allow, as I explained in an earlier video, which I will link up here, that allows potentially to have FSD beta as a level 2 system in Europe and the other countries within WP29, of course. But the R79 regulation does not mention the unconfirmed lane change. It still specifically mentions that the lane change is initiated by the driver itself. It is only in R157, which is the ALKS, the Automatic Lane Keeping System, the level 3 regulations, that there is a mention and an adoption now of the unconfirmed lane change. So that means that for Autopilot in Europe and everyone under the UNECE regulations is not going to change on that front. And that means that what has been taken away, or what they have started to take away right now with the strict interpretation of lane change, is the auto exit taking when there is no car coming from behind. So basically the lane is forking into the exit lane, and at that point the car was able to do the automatic exit taking. This is now being taken away with update 2022.16. As of that update, it is no longer allowed to do the automatic exit taking, and you will be prompted, and you as a driver will have to initiate the lane change just like any other lane change. Now, this is not part of a changing UNECE regulation. It is part of the industry and the governments that have actually demanded a much stricter interpretation of that specific lane change regulation. So yes, of course, we are happy that the auto lane change and the unconfirmed lane change is being adopted. Unfortunately, it is only within the level 3, which Tesla is currently not capable of, because of a lot of issues, a lot of features that are missing, and also because in general Tesla has not applied for that level 3 regulation, or certification I should say. The only car that is capable of it at the moment is Mercedes, or the only brand that is capable of it is Mercedes, and they are getting a huge benefit now if they actually implement the regulations, the new regulations, by January 2023. They will have a huge leap on functionality over what Tesla is capable in our neck of the woods here. That's a bummer, because Tesla has always been the leader on the front of autonomous driving, or semi-autonomous driving, and now they are falling way behind. So Tesla, if you're listening, please implement those little features that you need to apply and certify for level 3 driving, so that we can actually enjoy the same regulations. So there you have it. We were very happy that the unconfirmed lane change was finally going to be voted upon after almost 2 years of being proposed. And it got accepted, which is a good thing, but unfortunately we will not benefit from it with our regular extended autopilot, or even for those of us that have FSD, because it is only applicable apparently to the level 3 ALKS regulations, and not to the navigate on autopilot that we have within the R79 regulations, the level 2 that Tesla is currently offering. So I really hope that Tesla does make work of certifying for that level 3, as it is a huge thing if we can actually do that. Even if it's in a single country, it just paves the road for other countries to accept the same regulation and the same consequences, in terms of cars being able to do that, in terms of the technology being geared towards doing that level 3. And that will not only provide us with a lot of fun to drive it and to test it, but also with much safer cars, especially on long driving distances on highways where fatigue is often an issue, and the monotonous driving on those highways cause problems, cause accidents. With level 3, you can watch a movie and you're still safe on the road, because the car takes full responsibility of all the driving tasks. You still have to be within the seat, of course, to be able to take over at any moment, but you don't have to pay attention the way you have to do with level 2. So the future is looking bright once we get to that, but unfortunately, with the decisions that have been taken right now by the UNECE, although being a step in the right direction, currently we will have not a lot of benefits from it. So this is the short update on the new adopted UNECE regulations. And as always, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and make sure you click that little bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos. And for now, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.